Hello everyone, happy Friday and welcome back. Let's get into our Today in History. Today in History, May 22nd, 1958, the arrival in the United Kingdom of one of the biggest figures in rock and roll was looked forward to with great anticipation in May of 1958. There was just one problem. Unbeknownst to the British public and the organizers of the coming tour, Jerry Lee Lewis would be traveling to England as a newly married man, with his pretty young wife in tow. Just how young that wife really was would be revealed on this day in 1958 when Jerry Lee, the Killer Lewis, arrived at Heathrow Airport with his new child bride. Okay, so Jerry Lee Lewis was a rock and roll artist in the 50s, obviously, and he's most famous for that song Great Balls of Fire, like, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Um, and he actually ended up marrying his third cousin. Yes. And at the time of their marriage, she was about 13 years old. She had to get written consent from her parents to be married. It was like a whole scandal that they went to a different state and forged the marriage application. It was crazy. And it rocked the world because gross, right? It was pretty gross. But yeah, so this was a huge deal. There's actually a movie about it. It's called Great Balls of Fire, and I think it's Dennis Quaid, from Parent Trap, the dad from Parent Trap. Dennis Quaid plays Jerry Lee Lewis, and Winona Ryder, who plays the mom in Stranger Things, plays his wife. So, very interesting, but crazy and weird. So, rounding out the week with a weird one. Okay, so on Wednesday, you guys had this, the Red Scare, where we talked all about McCarthyism and this growing fear of communist spies in the from the Soviet Union in the United States. And you learned a little bit about what McCarthyism was, right, and how that played out in the United States, right? Moving forward, right? Today, you guys are going to be looking at, I would say, the two most important people in the Cold War, and that is John F. Kennedy and Nikita Khrushchev, right? And each of them are leaders of the U.S. and the Soviet Union, respectively. Right? So what I'm going to do is, to start out, I'm going to ask you to name 3 characteristics of a good leader, right? Something that you think that a successful leader needs, right? And then you're going to examine the similarities and differences between Kennedy and Khrushchev as leaders, and you're going to look at each of them at 3 specific stages in their lives. Right? You're going to look at their early life, right? So what was their upbringing like? How did they grow up? You're going to look at their early career, right? How did they get started in politics? How did things go off for them? And then finally, you're going to look at their leadership, right? Their time and power as leaders of their respective countries, right? And I think what you're going to find is that they do share a lot of similarities, but also early on in life, a lot of differences. And I think that it's really important to pay attention, especially to their early life, because the things that happen in someone's early life are extremely important and influential, and it can really shape who they become later on in life, right? So I think that you're going to see how the things that happen to each of them growing up kind of help to lead them down the path that each one took, right? So this is pretty straightforward. Just as a reminder that you guys do not have school on Monday. It is Memorial Day, so I will not be posting a lesson again on Monday, right? So the next lesson you'll get from me will be Monday into Tuesday, so nothing on Sunday for Monday morning, if that makes sense to any of you. Hopefully it does. And I will also today be posting the answer keys for the lessons that were due yesterday. I just wanted to give everybody time to get everything in before I posted them. All right, I am entering grades by the end of the day. All lessons 4 through 7 will be posted for everyone. I got them up for, I think, period 1 already today, but I'm just finishing stuff up now. All right. That is everything. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. I hope you guys have an amazing 3-day weekend. Fingers crossed for nice weather. All right. And enjoy yourselves. Just relax, disconnect a little bit. Don't think about school or work or anything like that. All right. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. And of course, as always, stay safe and make good choices. Bye, guys.